Now we will be studying about the air or atmosphere. You all know that biosphere. Biosphere biosphere consists of three spheres: lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. So these three comprises the biosphere where we all live. This lithosphere consists of the land. It includes the soil, and hydrosphere includes all the water bodies present on the earth, and atmosphere is related with the air. Now we will study first the atmosphere. So we have to study only the atmosphere. So what is atmosphere? Atmosphere, as you all know, let's see by its diagram. It's our earth, and we have a blanket of air around our earth. So this blanket, this is known as the atmosphere, and this is the earth. So we can say that atmosphere is a blanket of gases surrounding the earth. So atmosphere is multi-layered. Atmosphere is multi-layered. Here I have not shown the layers, but it's above earth and it's the atmosphere. It is multi-layered, transparent, protective envelope. I'll later on tell you that why it is being called as a protective layer. It is a protective envelope of gases surrounding the planet Earth. So it is a multi-layered, transparent, protective envelope of gases. Here I have mentioned it's a blanket of gases. So what gases? Let's see the composition of the air. So air is a mixture of several type of gases. In our atmosphere there are several type of gases. So these all gases comprises the air. So air is a mixture of several gases. Now let's see the composition of air. Composition. Let's begin with the gas. We would seeing it, the name of the gas here and the percentage, in what percentage it is present in the atmosphere. So the first gas is nitrogen. It is present in 78.08 concentration. It is 78.08 of the percent of all the gases. So nitrogen occupies 78.08. Earlier it was less now, but due to the increasing pollution, its amount has been increased. Now second gas is the oxygen. Oxygen that we all inhale. Oxygen is present in 20.94%. This oxygen was earlier present in 21%, but now it has decreased a little bit. The same reason is that is the pollution. The third gas we are dealing is that the argon. Argon is present in 0.9%. And next is the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide that is used by the plants for performing the photosynthesis. It is present in 0.03%. And other some trace gases are helium, neon, krypton, and xenon. These are some of the gases which are present in trace amounts. Beside these gases, the atmosphere do have water vapor, industrial gases. Industrial gases are the gases which are emitted from the factories and industries. So it is also present in the atmosphere? Dust. Dust is also present in the atmosphere. Smoke particles. Smoke particles. Microorganisms. Microorganisms are also present in the atmosphere. Pollen grains. Pollen grains are also present. In last is the fungal spores. Fungal spores are also present in the atmosphere. Fungal spores are the spores that are produced from the different types of fungus present in the environment. So this is the composition of the air present in the atmosphere. Nitrogen 78.08%, oxygen 20.94. That was earlier 21, but it has decreased due to the increasing pollution. Next is the argon, and carbon dioxide is also present, that is used for the photosynthesis and is emitted from and is responsible for the greenhouse effect. Next are the helium, neon, krypton and xenon. These are the gases present in trace amounts. Trace means these are present in little amount, very little, present in very less amount. Okay, trace means that is present in very less amount. And some other things that are present in the atmosphere are water vapor, industrial gases, dust, smoke particles, microorganisms, pollen grains and fungal spores. Now we are moving to the layers, as I already told that atmosphere consists of layers. So let's see the layers present in the atmosphere. We would study the layers by drawing a diagram. It would be helpful in understanding very easily. So just assume this is the earth, and the first layer of the atmosphere is known as the troposphere. So this is the troposphere, and it extends from 8 to 16 kilometer. 16 kilometer from the Earth's surface. This troposphere is a very important layer of the Earth. It includes, it performs, or we can say that some events that occur in troposphere are cloud formation, lightning and thundering. So here occurs climatic change, climatic events. I'm writing in the layer only so that you will be able to understand it faster. So here occurs the cloud formation, lightning and thundering. I hope you all know the terms thundering and lightning, all that. Thundering. So what about the temperature of this troposphere? I write here the first layer, name of the first layer. First layer, as I already told you, troposphere. 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 The temperature, as we move from Earth to the troposphere, as the height increases, the temperature here decreases. Now why this happens? So the radiations from the earth are coming here. So the ground, this earth layers, absorbs the radiations coming from the earth. So the radiations, these absorb the radiations. And what happens, there is a process known as convection. Since the heat is absorbed by the ground, so the heat now moves from earth to above. So there is a flow of heat from higher place to the lower region. So as we move from earth to the troposphere, the temperature here decreases. So I'll write it here so you would be able to memorize it easily. Ground absorb radiations. Ground absorbs radiation and then heat the tropospheric air and then heat the tropospheric layer by conduction and convection. By conduction and convection, since this heating is most effective in ground, the temperature in the troposphere gradually decreases. Since this heating most effective in ground, so the temperature in the troposphere gradually decreases. So the temperature in troposphere layer gradually decreases. So here I have given the reason why as the height increases the temperature here decreases. So you have to remember this because of convection and conduction. These are the phenomena in which heat moves from higher region to the lower region. As the ground has observed heat, so the heat will move from here. Okay, this is the movement of heat. So the heat would be maximum in the lower region, and as we gradually move upwards, the heat decreases. The temperature here decreases. So the upper limit of the troposphere is known as the tropopause. I write it here. The upper limit of troposphere is known as tropopause. Now moving on to the second layer of the atmosphere. Second layer of atmosphere is the stratosphere. Second layer is stratosphere. Stratosphere. It extends from Earth to the here. It is about 50 kilometer from the Earth's surface. 50 kilometer. Okay, and the most important thing about the stratosphere is that it is having a protective layer here. It is having a protective layer that is known as the ozone layer, and this is the layer that protects our earth from the harmful UV radiation. It absorbs the harmful UV radiation and doesn't allow it to come on the earth. This is the ozonosphere. This is the ozonosphere. What the function, as I already told you, this ozonosphere absorbs the UV radiation and it is about 50 kilometers from the Earth's surface. Now what about the temperature of the stratosphere? In troposphere the temperature was decreasing as we are moving upward, but here is a change. The temperature is increasing as we move upward. So the second layer is the stratosphere. Stratosphere is the second most layer. It is 50 kilometer high from the Earth's surface and the temperature here increases. Temperature increases with increase in height. So as we move upward, the temperature of the stratosphere would increase. And why this happens? I'll give you the reason. Because here is the presence of ozone layer. Ozone layer absorbs the UV rays from the sun. With the rays absorbed, it causes the air particles to move faster, therefore raising the temperature. I'll write it here. Ozone layer absorb the UV rays. UV rays means ultraviolet rays from the sun. With the rays absorbed, it causes the air particles to move faster, therefore raising the temperature. Now coming to the next layer of the atmosphere, next layer is the mesosphere. Let's draw its diagram. It's mesosphere. Mesosphere extends from the earth 80 kilometer. It's 80 kilometer. Let me write its name here. It's mesosphere. Mesosphere, air is less dense The higher you go, there are less particles to absorb the rays and give off heat. There is little oxygen and no ozone in the mesosphere. Therefore, in mesosphere, the temperature decreases. Let's see from beginning. In troposphere, the temperature was decreasing as we are moving upward, but in stratosphere, it was opposite. The temperature was increasing as the height is increasing. But in mesosphere, the temperature is decreasing with the height. Let me write here about the mesosphere. Mesosphere. In mesosphere, with height, increase in height, with increase in height, that means as we move upwards, with increase in height, the temperature here decreases. Now what the reason? Now I'll give you the reason. I'll write here what is the reason behind this. Air is less dense here. Air is less dense here. The higher you go, there are less particles to absorb the rays. Air is less dense here. The higher you go, there are less particles to absorb the rays from the sun and give off heat. There is little oxygen. There is little oxygen gas and no ozone, as it was in stratosphere, but there is no ozone, there is no oxygen, no ozone, so therefore temperature decreases. So the temperature in mesosphere decreases. Now the next and the last layer of the earth atmosphere is thermosphere. Thermosphere is the last layer of the earth. It extends up to 400 kilometers from the earth's surface. And what happens here? This is not the thermosphere, I'm so sorry, it is ionosphere. It would be better if we call this ionosphere. Ionosphere. Here what happened, as the name suggests, gaseous components become ionized due to the sun's energy and remain there as ions. In ionosphere, the gases present are ionized because the rays of sun are coming in large amount here, so the ions are formed in the ionosphere. So next layer is the fourth layer is ionosphere. So in ionosphere, what happens? Temperature increases with increase in height. Temperature here increases with increase in height. Increases with height. Here what happens? Gaseous components become ionized due to sun's energy and remain there as ions So we have completed the layers of atmosphere. So these were the layers of atmosphere, beginning with here troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere and ionosphere. This was the Earth's surface. This is the Earth. Okay. Troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere, and the last one is the ionosphere. Now we have concluded the atmosphere. We would be dealing with the role of air or atmosphere in the next class. Thank you.